let's get real. Now, how many times have you sat in a critique, nodded politely, and then thought, well, that's not going to work? Well, that happens all the time, does it? Or maybe just sometimes. Whatever the case. We're all polite, professional. We don't want to hurt feelings. But guess what? Sometimes the nicest thing you can do is tell the truth. The brutal, honest, helpful truth. Now today we're diving into Radical Candor. Now this is a framework, a communicational one that can transform your team, UX team, whatever team it is that you have, into a polite suggestion box, into a high-performing, innovative powerhouse. Now forget sugarcoating. We're talking about clear, direct, but compassionate feedback that actually improves design, improves the outcome of whatever it is you're doing. Now, you don't have to have a design team for this to apply. This can apply to any team that you are leading or part of. So let's get into it. Radical Candor at its heart is about two things: caring personally and challenging directly. It's not about being an idiot, a jerk, or anything of that nature. It's about really just caring enough about your colleagues and their work, and then being brave enough to tell them when something needs to be better. Think of it as the sweet spot between obnoxious aggression and ruinous empathy. Now, what are those things? We'll get into that later. Now, obnoxious aggression is just basically being a bully. Ruinous empathy, well, that's where you're so afraid of hurting someone's feelings that you let bad design slip through. And manipulative sincerity, well, that's just passive aggressive nonsense, passive aggressive behavior. See, Radical Candor is the only place to be in this matrix. But why is Radical Candor essential for any kind of team of innovation, such as a design team, a UX team? UX design is all about iteration and improvement, experimentation, failing fast and learning faster as well whilst you're doing that. But you can't do that if you're surrounded by a bunch of yes men. Now, links in the description, we talked about that before too. Now, you need constructive criticism. You need people to point out the flaws in your user flows, your micro interactions, your entire design system if you have one. How are we going to elevate our craft if we never tell people how we really feel? Radical Candor helps to foster the environment of improvement. Now, think about it. A button that's hard to find, a confusing navigation, a clunky user interface. Now, these aren't just minor annoyances. These are points of friction that can cost your company, customers, revenue, reputation, and more. Radical Candor helps to catch these issues early before they've even become expensive problems. Okay, so how do you actually do Radical Candor? Well, it's not as simple as just unleashing your inner critic. Here's some guidelines. First, solicit feedback. Ask your team for their honest opinions of your work. See, this shows that you're open to criticism, and it sets the tone for the rest of the team. And listen, really listen. Within the design industry especially, we are perhaps one of the most critiqued industries or professionals. So if you find it really hard to listen or hard to take critique, you need to ask yourself some more serious questions. And also learn to grow a thicker skin if you want to succeed within this field. That's basically the honest truth. But what's next? Be specific and actionable. That design is bad basically is useless feedback. Now, in contrast, if you said something like that button is too low, making it difficult to read in terms of contrast. So now it's more actionable. You've given someone a reason as to why the feedback is negative. So you focus on the problem, not the person. Don't make your comments personal. Third, deliver feedback as close to the event as possible. Now, don't wait for the monthly review to bring up an issue from weeks ago. Keep it timely, keep it relevant. See, this is our fourth one, to be humble. Remember, you're not always right. So frame your feedback as suggestions, not dictates. And remember to be helpful. Offer solutions. Don't just come with problems, always, right? You don't want that. Fifth, assume positive intent. See, this gives the design the benefit of the doubt and assumes that you are both trying to accomplish the same goals, and that's ultimately to win, because their success is your success. You're in the same team. Now, radical candor isn't always easy. Now, you're going to encounter some pushback. Now, some people might get defensive, right? Now, we're all built differently. We all have different character or archetypes, as it were. And that's okay. It's part of the process of growth. The key is to create a safe space where people can feel comfortable expressing their opinions, even if they disagree. And again, gives people the opportunity to feel safe in an environment where they can grow as well. So encourage the open dialogue, active listening, and a focus on finding common ground together. And remember, sometimes you're wrong, but be willing to admit it and adjust your approach. Even as a manager, you may have to admit or be open to the possibility that you too are wrong. We don't know everything. We don't know it all. And I'm sure there have been mistakes that have been made. And you know what? When you do openly admit where you may have erred or gone wrong, that actually garners more respect from your team than you realize. So, radical candor isn't about being mean. It's about caring enough to be honest. It's about creating a culture of trust, transparency, and continuous improvement. It's about leveling up your UX design and your soft skills by fostering an environment where everybody feels empowered to speak their mind and to challenge the status quo. So are you ready to embrace radical candor and transform your team, whether that be a design, UX, research, or any other kind of team within your business? Let me know in the comments below what your experiences are when it comes to receiving critical feedback. How did you react? Did it help the situation? And what was the outcome of what happened? Now, I hope you found this video useful. Until next time, keep designing, keep iterating, keep it real, stay present, but of course, stay curious. See you next time.